Welcome back, everybody, to Alma, Missouri. It is the afternoon of October, and we are putting down some wheat up here on fields 28 and 29. We'll be putting corn in a big field 40 for next year's harvest. Wind and rain Burtis is having today. I don't think you've already gotten what came through here, but it was going in that general direction. We've got our case air cart we are using for this operation. How's everybody doing this fine Sunday afternoon? As I was saying during the pre-show, we kind of narrowly avoided absolute disastrous weather here. It was right on the fringe of freezing all day long. We had a pretty steady rain until about 2:30 in the afternoon. So that basically meant we had freezing rain. Rain droplets fell, and then once it landed on whatever surface it was going to be on, it froze. But thankfully it didn't do much damage to trees, didn't really take out on power lines, at least not my power lines. And today it is up in the 40s, so any and all ice overnight has now melted away. The sun is out, it should dry up pretty good. But those people who are further north than me, well, they have probably are counting snow. I don't know what the snowfalls look like, but like I said, we were right there on that fringe of, is it going to freeze? Is it going to be rain, ice, or snow? Much rather have snow any day than ice, because you know what? You can't really do much of anything with ice other than enjoy the ride, because that's what you're going to be taking. Oh yeah, we've had I've had doors frozen shut before. Right, trunk lids. You lift the lid and you're like, oh my gosh. And then you have a sheet of ice that wants to slide off into your trunk then. We're going around the field. I know proper technique is to do the headlands last on a seeding or planting operation, but well, this is part of the unrealistic gameplay of the channel. We are realistic-ish. So this is the ish part. Simper, what's up? Six inches, that's a nice snow. That's a nice snow. And when it's nice and cold, it's nice and fluffy and easy to get rid of. I think we're gonna run out of fertilizer. I don't have a whole lot of money. Don, how much snow did you get? Did you measure it? Just had a chance to take a look at the My Lands 4X Wilderness map by Stevie. Published that video yesterday, early afternoon. That map's got a lot of potential. Wished it had a bit more undulations in the ground, but at any rate, it has a ton of good potential going on. Some custom production built in, lots of placeable buildings to tie into the map, including placeable production. Large animal pastures. Oh, just a dusting. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that either. And now, make her a long run. Although I feel like we're going to run out of fertilizer before we get done. This run, let alone this field, I don't think we're going to have enough fertilizer to be able to buy any either. $2,700. I'm going to have to see how much milk I can sell off. You know we have a pound of flour also. Maybe we'd sell that. Get a little bit of money. Scottish Jim, what's up? How's it going? Just enough fertilizer to finish this run. You use a camera. What? Farmer B? What do you mean? Do I use a camera? You upload your videos. I don't understand what that means. I don't have a camera anywhere in the setup. As far as streaming, I use OBS to do the encoding. As far as uploading recorded videos, it's just straight on uploaded to YouTube. All right, let's see. What can we afford to do here? So we are literally out of money. I can buy 1,000 liters of fertilizer. Oh, I got fertilizer in my spreader. Let's unload that. I don't have a truck, don't have anything to drive this out to me, so we gotta take this back to the farm. Now this seed hopper is a bit different. It holds a lot more seed than fertilizer. Typically they make more fertilizer than seed. The only videos I've used a camera for have been the ones related to the National Farm Machine Show from last year and the video about PAX East last year. Everything else is direct in-game capture with OBS. Now those Farm Machine Show videos, they were captured off of my cell phone. But none of this is using any sort of camera or phone. Boy, we are realistically farming now. We have like no money. No legitimate money. I mean, I guess I could sell wheat too. Sell what we need to sell in order to get by. Oh my gosh. I just come out of there and whip around. Chris, thank you. Now, most of that is exactly how it was delivered by the map author. I changed a couple little things around I added the grain bins. I got rid of some old deco bales and made an area to store my own round bales. But the rest of the farm is exactly as delivered. I wonder what I could get for that pallet of wheat or pallet of flour. $1,200. I'm not going to be able to buy another pallet of seed off of that, so we'll do what we got. Raphael, what's up? So we'll talk about the farm as we drive past it, but yeah, this is mostly as delivered. It's obviously the cow farm right by the town. Now, the only thing I changed was there was some old deco bales down here with some shrubbery and grass, and I got rid of those and painted some dirt gravel texture down. And that's where we have our greenhouses and our bales stored now. And then I flattened out a little bit of land where those grain bins are. Put those down. But the rest is exactly as delivered. We own the flour mill. Although Burgess prefers to call it the grain mill. How boring is that? We own the ketchup factory, and we're using those 3 greenhouses to do tomatoes for the ketchup factory. We harvested a bunch of wheat earlier, and that is going to the flour mill to make flour. We're going to be planting corn in the spring to make corn bread with our cornmeal, corn flour. That means we're going to be picking up the bakery when we can afford that, and making cornbread and regular bread. We have cows, so we're producing milk. We need to pick up the dairy in order to start making butter for those cornbread. So we got some pretty big aspirations. We'll just have to see how fruitful we can be. Andreas, what's up? Good morning. Good afternoon, depending on maybe you work third shift. Glad we can be a part of your morning routine. Square this off. So that's how we're putting wheat in this field. We're going to put wheat in that field back there, right on the other side of the tree line. And then once that's done, I think we'll fast forward to tomorrow. Oh, okay. Late shift. It's all good. It's all good. We'll be back here in well, about 4 hours. No. We'll be back in 6 hours for our Sunday night convoy night over at the secondary channel, FK's Funhouse, where we're going to be doing American Truck Simulator Convoy. Because it is 2:22 my time in the afternoon. So we're doing a nice afternoon live stream here on a Sunday. And then we'll be doing our normal Sunday night live stream tonight. And then we dive into the work week tomorrow morning. Have you been night shift all 18 years? Wow. Is that your preferred shift? Around here, usually night shift is for the newbies. And others, you know, upgrade to day shift or second shift as they have put time in with the company. I have to say this cedar mod was kind of an interesting setup. In fact, I bought the wrong cedar to begin with. Let me show you, see if you all thought it was as confusing as I did. Oh, here it is. So we have this one, which has the blower here at the front and has a hookup in the rear for the blower hose, right? So I think this one's kind of designed to be trailed first. Then we have this one, which is pull between. So we have the hose in the front. Then we have this one, the pull behind, which has the hose here coming around the back, right? And then this one has the hose hookups here to the front. So I've got the pull behind connected to the one that had the hoses connecting to the front. So they all connect up nice together. So you kind of got to mix or match the C-tank with the cedar unit itself as to which orientation you plan on connecting it to. But when I first bought it, I bought the in-between because I thought, yeah, I want the cedar in between the tractor and the seed cart. No, that was the wrong one. Now I'm seeing the C-cart's got I don't know if I can get a good angle on it. There's a handle here that's spinning as we drive. Can we read that? No. It says important, but I can't read the rest of it. But as we drive, it rotates. Oh, yeah, nailed for day shift. I mean, you know, it can have its benefits for sure. I think about those of us on day shift, right? Working your quote 9 to 5. There's so much that we can't do during the day because we're working when everyone else is working. And when we get off, lots of other people start closing down, right? So lots of things we can't do until the weekend because we're at work and we can't just go to the shop or go to the store or go to the bank because we're at work. And by the time we get done work, well, some of the shops are closed, right? Mechanics closed, banks closed. Depending on the store could be closed. So a lot of things we have to wait until the weekend. If you're on second shift, right, you can get things done in the morning before you go to work. If you're on late shift, you can get things done either in the morning when you get off work or in the evening, late afternoon before you go in, right? So it can have its benefits. But I think maybe 20 years of third shift would get old. Then you've got the folks that work like three 12-hour shifts and are done for the week. Right? Let's say 6A, 6P, 3 days in a row, bang, 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 and you know you're done. Four days off. That can be envious also. But I've been day shift all my life. Which can make it frustrating for mod and map drops during the week. Gosh darn it. It's like 10 o'clock my time and boom. Mods and maps are dropped. And then it's another six plus hours till I get off work. Yeah, we are going to run out of fertilizer before we finish this field. And then we're going to have to feed that whole field without fertilizer for now. Oh, well, maybe night shift is preferred shift. It's got the preferred workload. Right? I mean, driving a forklift is not a bad gig. Are yours Are yours propane? Are they electric? Or how are they powered? I did a little warehouse work a long time ago, and they had propane-powered forklifts. Propane exhaust, it wasn't really a smell that I enjoyed. Let's just put it that way. So I could deal without. I could deal without propane exhaust. Oh, electrics, those would be nice. Yep. We know we ran out of perks. We also ran out of money. We have $798, so we're not buying any perk anytime soon. So we have some avenues of income. Just not right now. We've got milk we could sell. We're producing flour, so we can sell that. We're producing ketchup slowly. We'll eventually be able to sell that. We do have wheat in the grain bin, so we could sell that if push come to shove. But I'd rather use it for flour than selling full up. I'm hoping to get another cut of grass off these fields this winter. So if that happens, I'm probably going to sell half or so of the hay bales that we make for cash, because we'll have more than enough. I used this mod, what is it called, loan system, and we got a $9,000 monthly payment on that too. Took out $1.5 million loan, 3.5% interest. I can't take out anymore. I maxed out my credit. I sound like a real farmer, right? I maxed out my credit. We don't have any money. Let's hope we don't need fuel. Let's hope our machinery doesn't break down. Let's see what we can get done with. Oh, minus 12 Celsius. It is a bit brisk. Does driving the forklift involve also going outside? Or is it just the in-betweens, getting to work and from work. Dive in. Well, I wish you stay safe and warm. Something else I would like to wish is this video is brought to you by Gary Mullins and Dwayne Unruh. Thank you for being farm barons. Now, if you don't know what a farm baron is or why I would be thanking them, there is a button down below the video that says join. Now, if you are watching on iOS, then quite possibly that isn't there. But at any rate, this channel has 4 levels of membership. For anyone that wishes to continue to support the channel in small monetary ways every month. Those with a Farm Baron level membership will get their shout out at the start of a video once a month, and they'll be in the credits at the end of the videos as well on both our channels, the main channel and our secondary FK's Funhouse channel. Take care. Indeed. Catch you later. Thank you for dropping by. Good thing we've pretty much bought everything we need. We don't have a planter. That's the only thing that we really don't have that we kind of need. I don't have a... I need a weeder or a sprayer for our weeds also. Those are kind of the only few things we need at the moment. Let's say in a pinch we could sell silage bales. Oh, we have over 100 cows. So let me check once I turn around. I don't quite remember because I bought a bunch of different cows. So I wanted to test something out. Last stream. So 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 140. We have 140 cows. So we got a little bit of milk. So we can make a little money there. So I really like how the map author did the cow barn up there with the cow pastures. We have 3 separate cow pastures. And we have cows in each of them. And they don't connect. So last time I streamed, I bought a bunch of different types of cows. Then I went around and to see if we had those cows were spread out over all 3 of those pasture areas or not, or if our cows that we own only went in one, and the other 2 were just populated out with AI animated cows. Turns out they're evenly split amongst all 3 areas, so that was nice to see. That's our farm's off that way. The starting farm is off this way. In fact, you can just see it right above the trees there. I sold that land, and we took the farm that's obviously over there in town. So I feel like we'll be maybe struggling for money for a month or 2 and then be good. I wish I could hire a helper, but I don't have the money for that, right? So we just gotta do it this way. Because we are, like I said, we are producing ketchup ever so slowly, because we're producing tomatoes ever so slowly. And then we are taking our wheat and pumping it out into flour. We got a full pallet now. So overnight we will get hopefully a couple more pallets of flour, maybe a pallet of ketchup, then more milk. Then we'll be all set. Now, I asked earlier who'd seen the video My Lands, the 4X My Lands wilderness map that I published yesterday. Anybody jump on that map? Have a play on it? I was saying earlier I thought it had a lot of potential. Wished it wasn't just flat, right? Kind of wish it had some rolling hills to it. I think one thing that gives No Man's Land, Western Wilds, and there's at least one other wilderness map out on the Genesis Mod Hub that has kind of trees spread around, has some rolling hills. Really does give the map character then, as opposed to just mostly flat, no trees at all on the interior. I did a farm build series on both Western Wilds and No Man's Land, and I kind of like those treed areas. Really helped me define field boundaries, farm boundaries, things like that. Oh, Walter, I mean, that kind of is how It used to be defined, yes. It used to be that retail shops could not sell you an OEM Windows license unless you also purchased some hardware. So typically they came bundled with motherboards and hard drives. I think that line is blurred a lot recently with respect to, you know, like the free Windows 10 upgrade from Windows 7, the free Windows 11 upgrades, and such. The prevalence of the kind of CD key websites where you can just buy CD keys, buy OEM keys, and everything. Now, with Windows activation, modern Windows activation, it's you're gonna have to activate Windows even if you keep the motherboard, if you change enough things out. So if you change the graphics card out, you change the CPU out, and if you change out the hard drive, then you might have to reactivate your key, even though the motherboard's still there. Yeah, I looked at it on Wednesday, I think. Farmer G. And I thought, I'll just wait till the weekend. At that point, it had already been updated twice, if not 3 times. You know, with Stevie Maps, they often get a flurry of updates. Now, typically the OEM key is non-transferable, whereas your retail license key maybe could be, maybe is supposedly transferable from one machine to the next. Yeah, I think what's lacking is just terrain changes. You know, when I was placing the buildings, it was evident that the fields had a very slight hump to them, but it was just very slight. And you only really noticed that hump up by the roads. And the overall lack of trees on the interior. You know, I mean, nowhere Kansas is the same. Although it's literally flat as a board. With no trees on the interior. But that's what gives No Man's Land, Western Wilds, and I know there's been 1 or 2 other wilderness maps on the Mod Hub that are not coming to name, that do have little pockets of trees here and there, rolling hills, maybe some random rock outcroppings. Yeah, I mean, Windows 7 was so popular that when they wanted to kill it off, they had to incentivize you. And the only way really to incentivize you is to say, okay, well, fine. Here, you can upgrade to the latest OS for free, right? If you own a license for the current OS, you can upgrade to the next OS for free. So if you had a Windows 7 key, you would update to Windows 10, basically upgrade that key to Windows 10. And if you had a Windows 10, then you could upgrade that install to 11. Right? Yeah, Walter. I mean, I kind of am in a interesting position, working at an educational institution. Well, Microsoft gives us tons of things, and one of the perks is Windows licensing for home use, right? Like the ability to install Office on 5 personal devices, right? Using the work from home rights. Same with Windows, work from home rights. The last PC that I built was the one I'm running right now, but it was initially built in 2015 or so, with an Intel chipset and an Intel processor, and then had been upgraded to an AMD chipset and processor twice over since then. But the other systems at the house are pre-built, if you will. Well, it's 5 devices, so in theory it's like your work laptop, right? A home office computer, your phone, because your phone, maybe a tablet, right, would have Office installed on it. That's kind of where their thought process is. Because it is tied to a work account, right? There we go. Took a little bit longer than I was initially expecting, but hey, it's done. Let's go figure out where we're gonna park this. And we'll make it November. See how much money we lose. Because we do have that monthly loan payment. That's going to put us about $10,000 in the hole. Might just park this along the road here for now. All right. Here we go. $10,000 in the hole, like I said. Like I was thinking. Okay. Production-wise, we have... I'll have to see how many pallets we've got. Ketchup, I wonder how many... I wonder how big a pallet of ketchup is. Milk, how much milk? 10,000 liters of milk. Alright, let's see if we can't make a little money here. It'll be interesting to, yeah, follow all the CES news this week. $4080 Super worth $1,000, too much. 4070 Ti, $799. I'll have to see how that performs. See what? I'm happy with my 3080 right now. The 3080 that I bought at retail price. I'm happy with that. Milk. Milk, milk, milk. Let's go to the dairy with it. And then flour. Let's see where we're going to that. Ketchup. $1,800 per 1,000. That would be nice. The big thing now with these GPUs is they're just so much power hungry. So much power hungry. We just dump more power into them to get any more performance. At some point, we've got to have a generational shift that isn't isn't just more power hungry. I don't know, whatever the retail price of that was. I don't remember. I bought it a while ago. It wasn't right when they came out. It was a while after they've been out, then they kind of prices dropped, stock. Crypto started to dry up on them, I think. But it was, I probably got it summer. Not this summer, last summer. I had it before Platinum expansion came out. Because I did a video after Platinum expansion came out with my GPU settings for the 3080. So I probably got it summer of 22. Maybe. Early summer 22. Would have been nice to have this dump point somewhere that had hookups. Alright, let's see how many flower pallets we've got. Oh, we got lots of flower pallets. Okay, good. No. Yeah, I don't think it's not going to be this year, but you know, all that bad press. Oh, oops. All that bad press with a 12 VH power connector. That was just a bad connector. Too small. Too many pins. How you would factor render efficiency, but it's hard to do a direct comparison, but I record at 1440p, pretty high bit rate, and then I encode for YouTube upload. I encode for YouTube upload at 4K, so I upscale at 1440p to 4K. At, again, a fairly high bit rate. And I typically can encode at 3 times speed. Right, so 60 frames, 180 frames-ish a second. So like a 30-minute video would encode in less than 10 minutes using GPU encoding. Definitely happy birthday there, Walter. Or, no. Wayland! Wayland, happy birthday. Now here's the difficult part. I don't have a trailer. I have a flatbed trailer. So the only way I could sell flour is to use these forks. I really should have set the flour to auto sell. That's what I should do, and I should set that catch up to do that too. Because I just don't have a good way of transporting those. So we're also streaming, right? We're streaming 1440p. So that's doing GPU encode. I looked this summer, about getting an Intel 750. I was going to use the 750 to do AV1 encode. These forks are not so hot for pallet work, but hey. Where do we need to take this? Where do we need to take it? To the bakery. Oh, the bakery's right. Bakery's right there. We'll just do it this way. Oh, we have money now. Good. All right, now we can get a trailer. That, how much is that? That's $8,000 to buy. How much to lease it? $400 to lease. Bale transport, where is it? No, none of those. Let's get back to this one. I'm doing H264 because the 3000 series does not do AV1, and AV1 CPU encoding is horrid. Because I thought, oh, I've got cores for days. I've got a 5900X. So I thought I could just maybe do CPU AV1 encoding. No. Nowhere is even close to keeping up. Now the 4000 series would do AV1 hardware. But the 3000 doesn't. But I couldn't fit the 750 in my case. It's a 2-slot card and I needed a 1-slot card. Let's see if I have any ketchup pallets. I do have some ketchup pallets. Let's see what they look like. Tomato. Like they're just edited oil pallets, but hey, it gets the job done. Where are we taking our cat soup? The diner. Dwayne, what's up? This video is brought to you by Dwayne Unruh. You missed it. Did you finish the wheat? All right, we got, we're good for a couple days now. $17,000. Not bad for being 10,000 in the hole. Now we can afford fuel. We can afford fertilizer. And we can maybe cut some grass. They have made some pretty amazing inroads on performance. Right? I mean, they compete pretty handily with low and mid grade CPUs. GPUs probably your 60 series or lower. And of course, it's a market that AMD and NVIDIA have pretty much abandoned and left to Intel. Come on. 1920 for 1,000. 1820 for 1,000. Now we can fertilize the wheat that we couldn't do. I could also probably lease a sprayer and take care of the weeds. See if we can mow some grass. It says ready to cut. Then we can do I'm gonna get maybe about another 25 bales of hay, and then I can sell the rest of the hay. We got four grass fields, 2 wheat fields, and 1 corn field. That's what we're working. I just wish Intel would come out with a 1U encoding card. Right? I don't need a ton of VRAM on an encoding card. I just need the form factor. And if they're not sucking down a lot of power, then they're not going to be generating a bunch of heat, so they could do the 1U. I mean, for me, if I wasn't able to capitalize so heavily on the CUDA acceleration with the GPU rendering, AMD is very attractive from a price to performance standpoint, in my opinion. If you're not a heavy advocate of ray tracing, then AMD's doing a lot of things. I guess with your comment, you can't. So let's see here. Wheat. Yeah, look, it's too late. Right. There's no crossover. If this was shifted a month, then you'd have that early harvest, late plant crossover. There really is no you could double crop barley. You could double crop barley and beans. And really that's it. You can double crop barley and beans, but not wheat. Good afternoon, Delata. How are things going? Holy crud, we're burning through fertilizer. We might have enough just to do this. We'll be creative with how we hit this. Oh, before the snowstorm for you, huh? Yeah, we had the weather come through yesterday here. What's the big seller? I never understood the bread and milk. I mean, it's fine if you're like, you know, planning on running out, but do you really need to stockpile it? Change controls now. All right, that's it. Weeders. $2,000. Or $1,700. You know what? I then have to buy herbicide. Why not? Why not just get bottled water? Get a couple gallons of bottled water. Although, I guess depending on where you are, people run into issues with water pipes freezing, but well, yeah, I mean, back in the day. But also, it's still a thing. There's still like a crazy run on I miss buying a big weeder. Or leasing a big weeder. By the time I lease a sprayer, I then buy a herbicide. I feel this big weeder's cheaper. I won't need to weed again until spring. And by then I'll be able to buy one. Go to town. Pick up her weeder. You know, back in the day, like, you know, you got a bad storm coming, you'd run water in the tub. That way you'd have some water. Flush the toilet because you could just, you know, fill the bowl, fill a tank from the tub. Fill pots with water just in case power went out because your well pump, right? And if you're still out in the country and you still have a well, you still have to worry about those things. But if you're on the municipal water, right, you don't have to worry about it. Look at that. Beautiful fields. FS22 YouTuber, what's up? Welcome to the party. We're just hanging out on a Saturday, not Saturday, Sunday afternoon. I'm losing track of my days. Maybe that'd be the perfect excuse not to go to work tomorrow. Oh, I lost track of days. I thought today was Sunday. But if I did that, I'd have to take the, couldn't take the kid to school. Alright, I'd have to fully fully commit on forgetting the day. Because if I took him to school and then claimed I forgot what day it was, that wouldn't work. It was nice seeing the first set of mods drop for the new year over in the mod hub. I don't think there's anything super spectacular dropped. It was good to get back into that groove. We are weeding some wheat is what we're doing. Because we decided it was cheaper to weed the wheat than to rent a sprayer and buy herbicide. And right now we are very poor. Pretty much the only thing keeping us afloat at the moment is the fact that we are producing ketchup and flour. No, I've already seeded, obviously. Yeah, it does. It does allow you to seed canola or grass. So if you'd like to seed canola or grass, you can do that. Canola, grass, or sugar beet. Not sugar beet. The other beet. 28, 29, yes. Well, Walter, that would make a lot of sense why you couldn't take both. But we won't go into those details. Yes, we are on PC, but this is base game equipment. At least the seeder is, or the weeder. Yes. You know, I'm kind of peaceful with the trees. I just work with them. We are using this one right here. Base game machine. So students have MLK Day off. That's though the 15th. That's not this Monday. That's next Monday. But employees still have to report. It's a day off of classes, it's not a day off of work in general. Thought I saw little bits over here that still had weeds in them. Want to make sure that we are working with this right. And we've got some weeds that are medium-sized, and therefore they're not coming out with the weeder. Maybe that's what we got going on here. Let's check our overlay. Yeah, we got some medium-sized weeds that are just going to be stuck here. It's all good. Most of them are coming out. I thought the delusional map, alright, the delusion map was pretty nice. Posted that map video at Friday evening. Friday mods dropped really early in the day. But still waiting on straw harvest. Still waiting. Still no news from that. Amazingly quiet over at Creative Mesh's Discord as well. Yeah, that'll basically finish that. Then we'll go this over here. Oh, that's the header trailer. Wait, what? I thought I sold all that machinery. We left the header, corn header there, and the header trailer. I could sell the header trailer, I guess, because the header I have is its own trailer built in. That'll give me a little bit more money. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. Oh, whopping $4,300. Okay. What's up, Genetic? I understand. I understand. There's not been a lot of a lot to tug your interests. Perfectly understandable. And that's the crux of 2-year, 3-year, 4-year life cycle. Really. I know lots of folks didn't like the 2-year life cycle. Lots of folks felt that about the time a new game was coming out, mods were just getting good, maps were just getting good for that previous version. The 3-year life cycle between 19 and 22 was a little breath of fresh air for mappers and modders. They had a whole extra year to further refine their craft with respect to FS19. From a creator standpoint, from a player's standpoint, I think that extra third year really starts stretching. Before it's a whole lot of wash, rinse, and repeat. Same show, different surroundings type of a thing, right? And that's where the crux is. To keep it fresh, to keep the momentum moving, you've got to have a lot of change, a lot of updates, regular things being added. But to do that, you somewhat, you know, is it the old tale of what is it? Cutting the chicken's head off or something? There's an old saying about basically maybe something like cutting your nose off in spite of your face or something like that. But basically, I feel that 3 years is a stretch for a farm sim release. I feel that only the strongest, most dedicated, most passionate players will play it 3 years without hesitation. I feel a lot of momentum gets lost. I feel a lot of your player base excitement that comes with the release is gone within 6 months. Within 6 months, you really don't have a huge mod pool because so much is different from one game to the next that only in some rare instances do things super easy, quickly transfer over. So you lose a lot of momentum. You lose a lot of players early. You lose a lot of players toward the end of that first year. You lose, I think, a proportionately greater number of players every month you go after that. It's not necessarily a popular stance. I think Platinum expansion reinvigorated things a bit with its forestry focus, the enhanced gameplay of forestry, but only for a little bit. I think premium expansion once again added a little bit of interest, a little bit of excitement to the game, but that momentum is very short-lived as well, because of the machines that were a part of that pack so heavily relies on either the use of hired helpers or relies on multiplayer functionality to really make most use of that. Wasn't the best single-player friendly set of machinery. I really, really hope that in the next 3 or 4 weeks, Giants makes a massive announcement about something coming in the fall. Hoping because they had really great player base, they had really great response to the release of 22. Those players, they've moved back to their shooters, to their other games, and it will take another big, massive feature update, I think, to pull them back for a short period of time. I get with you, Genetic. I get with you. I don't know what it is with the 22 maps. I've felt that it was hard to find a map that I really was emotionally drawn into from seeing it, right? And I don't know if it's just my desensitivity now to lots of things. Again, same thing, different day type of thought process from 2017 to now with respect to looking at maps and things across Farm Sim 17, 19, and 22. Or if it was something else, right? But a lot of the maps just don't have that grab you by the seat of your pants type response when you look at them for the first time. I feel a lot of the maps are not overly rememberable. I mean, heck, I didn't remember Alma until I was looking through through my own playlist. And then I pulled it up on the Giants Mod Hub. And then I had to toggle through all the screenshots. And then I was like, oh wait, yes, I remember. I really like that map. I mean, I've been known to put in some serious time on maps, right? Put a lot of time in on the 17 and 19 version of the Emerald Coast. Put a decent amount of time on other maps. It's just not a lot is drawing me right now. Grenade Racer, what's up? It started. I didn't start the start. I didn't start the. I didn't start at the starting farm. I started the farm in town, and I like that one. It's a little bit more low scale, low key, I guess. Fits my slow and methodical, I guess, play style a bit better. I don't know, Farmer G. I mean, it's the same as 17 and 19 with respect to those map videos. 17 and 19, there's been maps within 5 minutes of me opening up the map. I think, wow, I can see myself spending hundreds of hours playing this. If you need to invest 20 hours, 10 hours to decide if it's worth continuing, I feel like that's a lot of time spent. I'm also someone that's not massively emotionally attached to things, right? People say, "What's your favorite?" I don't have favorites. What's your favorite food? I think, I don't know. What? I don't know. Other people be like, "Oh my God, this is so awesome! I just love eating this because this." And then this, and then like they can talk for 20 minutes on a plate of food. It's utilitarian. So I can't come up with top 5 lists, top 10 lists. What's the best X? What's the best weeder? The one that does the job? Right? The one that does the job. This might be the best weeder for this field. For this tractor combination. Smaller tractor, this isn't the best weeder. A different weeder is the best weeder. If I had a 500 horsepower tractor, this probably wouldn't be the best weeder. I mean, you know, it's nothing wrong. Country fried steak. I just don't know if I'd use it as a basis for a, you know, a college lecture. See how we're doing with this weeding. We got a little bit down there we can get. Well, that I think we are. We're missing a pass on that side. Right, Mike. Yeah. If there was like, oh, you've used this tractor more than this other tractor, but on this gameplay, I decided I wanted to be a mostly case farm. Right. Over on Carpathian countryside, we were Dutes. Right? We just played with a bunch of Dude stuff as far as tractors go. I'll try to change it up. Flip it up. Bent, Kloss. But the other thing I won't use is John Deere. And that's mostly because when John Deere was available in FS 19, it's like it was just way too hyped. I have no predictions because I have zero idea what they're gonna announce. A new game at some point. Is it gonna be next week? Is it gonna be 2 weeks from now? Is it gonna be 3 months from now? Is it gonna be 10 months from now? They're gonna be announcing some number of DLC. For FS22 releasing in or 24, right? Is it going to be a full year season pass with 4 things, 5 things? Is it going to be a partial season pass with 2 things or 3 things? I am hopeful. I'm hopeful that they announce a new game in the coming weeks. I also know that historically those announcements have come in April as opposed to January or February. I think any announcement for a season pass can be a pretty good indicator as to what's coming this fall. If anything's coming this fall. So if they announce a year 3 season pass that includes 3 things or less, I think that's a pretty good indicator that there's a game coming in the fall. If they announce a season pass that has 4 things or more, then I'd say that's an indicator that no, there isn't a new game coming this fall. They may choose to announce a game coming this fall before the season pass, because they know that the season pass announcement might be such a clear indicator as to what is or isn't coming. Why did Giants announce FarmCon in December? FarmCon's never been announced that early for as long as FarmCon has existed. So why did they want to get that far out ahead of it? Was it simply to give people the most amount of time to make travel and lodging preparations. 6 months. Or was there going to be a lot of announcements coming in the first 6 months of the year? And they wanted to make room and needed to make room. So they put the FarmCon announcement out there now. So we'll see. We'll see what comes. I learned a long time ago not to get too hyped over anything. Because there's one surefire thing that will happen if you get overhyped. You will have massive disappointment no matter what the announcement ends up being. Because you've so hyped yourself that nothing in the world could ever possibly meet that expectation. And therefore, whatever it is becomes a disappointment. I had that happen in Farm Sim 17. And it was a very brutal lesson to learn. And that was, there was a map, a highly anticipated map, eagerly awaited from a much praised map author of FS17. One of those folks whose common persona was they could do no wrong, right? Right? If you didn't like the map, then clearly something was wrong with you and your expectations, because it was never a fault of the map. Everyone loved this map author's maps. And if you didn't, then clearly it was your problem. That was the overall mystique. Right? Months on end. Screenshots published every couple weeks. Absolutely gorgeous screenshots. Absolutely gorgeous. Right? Never before anything seen like that before. Map comes out. And like within 2 minutes of being on the map, I was just drastically disappointed. I was like, this looks just like every other map this person has put out in the last year and a half. I had somewhat bought into that hype. And instantly, like that, it was a disappointment. And literally, you could probably have given me a clinical depressed type of a diagnosis. I was like, I really don't feel like playing Farm Sim anymore. Just so hyped over this, and now it's just so disappointing. Why even play Farm Sim at this point? So from that day, I decided I was 100% never going to buy into the hype again. Of any map, any mod. I would not follow anybody. Would not follow maps progression, maps development. I would ignore as many pre-release streams from people that did have early access to anything. That way I could have a fresh view, a fresh thought when I finally did have my chance to look at something. And then let's take Starfield. And the mess that turned out to be. Right? So overall, oh my gosh. Field 33. Where's Field 33? How much you want to pay me to do that? How big is this? How big is 28? $10 field 28. 3. Oh, okay. 33 is 5. 3. Yeah. That's yes, thank you. Shut you down. We have work to do. So, yes. I have things I would like to see. I have no predictions on what we will see. I mean, is it seem like that's a massive amount of money to be paying me to fertilize that field? $49,000. I feel like that's a massive payday. Now, Green Racer, this is what happens when you try to drive and chat at the same time. I do have the, what is that? Pay wages? What's that wages mod? I do have a wages mod in that, like, supposed to, like, randomize payouts. Sometimes you can make good money. Sometimes you make no money at all. Right? Like $1,000 to do 4 acres of carrots. $10,000 to do 41 acres of beets. But $50,000 to do 13 acres of fertilizing. I mean, if it was 50 grand to do field 34, I could see that. $14 inches of snow. Nice. And for you, that snow is probably going to stick around for months. Right? If we had 14 inches of snow here, it would probably be gone in a week. Because it probably wouldn't be cold enough to stick around that long. It's like when I went car shopping last time. I told the salesperson I was looking for a 4-door car, 4 doors. It needed to have a decent back seat because at the time our youngest was in a car seat, and we had the car seats that had the clip-in, the plastic base that was always in the car, and you just drop the car seat in, right? Just swing them in, plop them in, you're good to go. Very convenient. I like those. It needed to not be a Ford. And it needed to have relatively low mileage for the model year. Because when I buy cars, typically I keep them until they are basically useless. They're like, well, what color do you want? Did I just tell you my requirements? Were any of those color? No. Do you want, you know, what type of trim package? I just told you. 4 doors is the trim package. Anything else, I could care less until you find something that meets all those other requirements. 4 doors, low mileage. And not a Ford. Pretty straightforward. Highs of minus 27C. Low of minus 33C. That's nice cold. I'd have to figure out what minus 27C is in Fahrenheit. Right. I'm guessing that's like single digits. Coldest we've had so far this year was like 20. Or so. Oh, that is, yeah, minus 16 is not good. I don't know if I've ever had a minus 16 here. Yeah, this is a massive payout. I could have bought that weeder for the amount of money I'm going to make on this. Yeah, I think it's, where are we at? What's our weather today? 42 today. We'll low at 27. 45, 29 tomorrow. 51 on Thursday for the high. There we go. Thank you. Give me my money. Give me my money. But Edmonton is up there, right? How far up there is Edmonton? So to circle back, Predictions on the next Farm Sim announcement. It'll either be a DLC or a game announcement. It's one of those two things. And if it's a DLC, we'll see how many packs are included. If it's 3 packs or less, we're getting a new game this winter. If it's 4 packs or more, we are not getting a new game this winter. If it is a new game, I would like to see buildable buildings, placeable structures where you place the foundation and then deliver products and goods to build the building. So you can literally build your farmhouse, all of your farm buildings. I'd like to see customizable animal pastures such that you could paint or draw the perimeter of your animal nav mesh like we can draw out fences now. And then place your food trough, your food trigger, your water trigger, and those other associated triggers within a certain radius of that nav mesh, so you can have truly, fully, 100% customizable animal areas. I'd like to see fruit trees implemented. Maybe peanuts, maybe rice. I'd like to see an Asian-inspired base map. Authentic rice equipment and other Asian-inspired crops, whatever those may be. All right, folks, that's it. That's it for our Sunday afternoon live stream. We'll be back here in less than 4 hours. Well, technically not here. We'll be back on our second channel, FK's Funhouse. Explanation FK's Funhouse in chat to get a link to that, where we will be doing our Sunday night convoy night in American Truck Simulator. That'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern over on that channel. Last week we had ATS on this channel. That was a special live stream because it was our 4 hour long live stream for the New Year's celebration. Depending on what happens over the Giants Mod Hub tomorrow, we may or may not be back here doing some grass work. If a map gets dropped over the Giants Mod Hub, well, then we'll be busy taking care of that. Until next time, happy farming.